So, back again Monday night, playing the Welcome to Wildemount campaign. So, the adventures of Carver, Stillborn, and the others with Jade, Blaze from the group, and then in welcoming Dorian into the group as Scarlet has ventured off with some demon armor. So let's see what happens in this session. When it gets started, I will kick off again. Be back soon. Slowly getting there. I apologise. I will be eating a little bit because I haven't had a lot to eat tonight. Got some water, some tea.
How's it going, James?
Great.
And an Australian eucalyptus tea because I have
I'm panicking a little bit.
been alcohol free for the year. And some water.
Mm-hmm. That's that look you gave me last night that you know...
Yeah, let's have a look.
Scared and panicked and worried.
Well, hey, a little bit of feeling annoyed, I think, is quite warranted.
Like, I'm not annoyed at Jonas for being ill. I'm annoyed at being a thing.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I see. Sorry, I thought you meant being in the, just transported into some random-ass dungeon.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But yes, no, yeah, that's understandable, though.
Although COVID-19 is a little bit like being imported into a random ass dungeon. So if we're looking for
Alrighty, I think I got everything up and ready on my end. If everyone else is ready to jump into it.
Yep, ready as we'll ever be. On my side.
Alrighty, well, last session at the end there, after coming back into town from the, fixing the issue down in the Gemstone Caverns, and meeting up with a new friend, there was a weird meet-up with a civilian inside the town of Gordon, and he seemed to be a little, almost upset at the party, kind of for baseless reasons, but seemed to have his own. Leaving, oh yeah, and then you started to chase some creepy guy, and that's how you got out of Gordon, and then chasing after that person, you ran into, some sort of encampment that people were trying to ambush you in. Didn't really work as you started to attack them, but then the creepy, person with half of his face kind of just destroyed and looking very just skeletal, tendon showing and pretty much having no skin on the right side of the face, used some sort of magic item, you think maybe, to teleport you, transport you. Something happened that made you not be where you were. You kind of just feel like you are waking up. Some of you with different forms than you had previously. Carver, your form is just kind of this glowing, almost silhouette of your form with this bright core in the center of you. It seems to almost be swirling around in an orbit, in a way, around in your chest cavity. Dorian, your form is torn and kind of flickering. It feels like you're not entirely here. It feels like you're very, almost disassociating a little bit. Waking up around you, you see A pretty big red carpet that is about 10 feet underneath Dorian and Carver's feet, and it goes down into this next room pretty far. It has golden trim around the outside of it. There are paintings along the back wall in this room that you're in. There seems to be an orc with a bushy mustache and a pointy goatee wearing a capitaine hat, I think is how you say it, or also known as like a pilgrim's hat, with a pheasant feather in it. Around you are people who seem to be in just kind of commoner clothing. Some of them further up seem to almost be hypnotized in a way, just kind of walking in a straight line. The three back here, looking at them, they seem to be as confused and as shocked as you are. This one, I'll put a little marker on it. That one there, that person looks exactly like Jiminy Cricket. You do.
Jade? What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. What? We were just. I don't understand this. I don't understand any of this.
Is that that guy, Jiminy, that looks a lot like him?
Are we like bound? Are we tied up or something?
No. You just kind of woke up laying down on the floor. The floor here as well is a kind of like a sandstone tiling floor. The walls seem to be made of a reddish or a red brick, just nicely laid out to build up this nice wall. The ceiling, when you look up at it, it's almost transparent. It seems like it's a very cloudy piece of glass almost. But just past it, you can see like these swirls of just shadowy essence flowing over it. From the outside, you can kind of hear the sound of a wind just. Don't know if that picks up very well over the mic or not, but.
Yep.
Yeah, it did. I think I'm just gonna walk up to Jimon and I'm gonna grab him by the collar. You! What happened? Where are we? What's going on?
Oh, you're here too. Oh God. I don't know. I was fighting you guys. I was promised power earlier. I was fighting you. He kind of grabs his head and it seems to be paining him to try to remember. I remember a flash of light, and then I was here. Oh. Oh, I see. See him just kind of get a little, kind of partially content, but a hint of fear in his eyes. I guess this is what I get for making a deal for power. And he just kind of slumps down against the wall, kind of sliding down.
I'm gonna grab him by his collar and pick him up and push him against the wall. No, none of that. You explain now. What's going on? What deal? Where are we? What's happening?
What's happening?
I just slapped him across the face. Focus now.
Okay. I remember I talked to you and your other friend during the celebration. As I was walking away, there was a person, kept a hood on. he said if I wanted to protect my town, he could give me the power to do so. I just needed to promise him something in return. What was that something? What was it? It was... And he starts to kind of get lost again in some of his thoughts, muttering to himself. The other two people, beside Jiminy, are just kind of staring back at the, I guess, five of you, and are kind of looking back at each other, and they say, "Wait, Jiminy, we made a deal with a guy as well. He promised us unlimited money, unlimited power, as long as we just handed over our..." They kind of look at each other and in unison and say, "Soul." Uh-oh.
Oh, that sounds fun, doesn't it? You fucking idiots.
Jiminy kind of looks across the four of you and says, Did you make a deal with this guy too?
We're not as stupid as you, no.
It's a little harsh, but okay.
You trade your soul for power. What else do you wanna call it?
Thank you, Jade.
I was doing it to protect my wife, to protect the city. I didn't think...
Yeah, that's right, you didn't think.
Kind of shoots a glance over to you, Blaze, but then kind of just agrees with you and his shoulders slump down.
I just let him go.
So you guys are done fighting us, yes?
Oh, yeah, the other two are like, yeah, no, for sure. The guy we were with just said that if we killed you and you would have stuff on you that we'd be able to take that would help us hone our powers more, but starting to think he never expected us to kill you in the first place.
Now that you're saying taking items from us, where's all my shit gone? Where's the... I had Scarlet's bag of holding. Where I can't find it.
They both kind of hold their hands up and are like, "Who? We didn't do that. We didn't even know you had a bag of holding."
In a minute, I'm gonna have a bag made of human flesh and skin.
We're gonna see what everyone else is up to, and they kind of just hurriedly start walking. These two at least start to walk down the carpet.
Why do you two look funny anyway, Dorian? And
Yeah, what's up with that? You guys feeling okay?
No, it fucking hurts.
I don't feel any different, but it looks weird.
Is anyone else missing any items?
A lot of my stuff's gone.
Yeah, most of my stuff is gone as well.
You look at Dorian, and he's just got a quarterstaff with the arcane focus and an amulet, and he's just wearing very not so white briefs anymore. It's like, I don't wear clothes under my armor.
Might want to rethink that for the next time.
Yeah, basically everything's gone. Just the sword's still there. So, what's going on, guys? See, I just did it. Anyway, what's going? See, we've got to change it. What's going on? Did we sign a contract for our souls as well that we're not aware of?
think I was kind of preoccupied when that ball of light was thrown.
Are there any, like, do the pictures on the wall sort of describe anything? Like, can I have a look at the sort of a bit closer?
Yeah. Looking at them, they seem to be just some paintings. They don't have any headers or words on them, but staring at them, I'll say roll a history check for me.
Oh, it's not good for Carver normally, but let's give it a shot.
Can I try and help him?
Yeah. So you can roll with advantage, Carver.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not too sure. This orc seems to be pretty fancy. Very rarely do you see orcs with very groomed facial hair. Usually they just kind of let it grow out and get a little scraggly or keep it pretty shaven. But yeah, that seems a little odd. But you don't really, nothing else piques your mind from looking at it.
Okay. So, what do we do?
Can I try and find out what kind of magic took us here, or if it was magic at all?
Yeah, you can roll an Arcana for me. Yeah, so signing away your soul for power sounds, I mean, not extremely familiar, but sort of familiar. Probably some warlock bullshit's going on here, but for something to capture multiple souls, and seemingly be containing them in one place is not heard of. Magic definitely brought you here, but the power that did, no one should have been able to do this.
Okay, so maybe warlocky bullshit magic happened, but this is way too powerful to have happened. Not the amount of people that are here. So we're either dealing with something incredibly powerful, or we are screwed.
Well, I mean, it seemed as if what Jiminy just said is right, and I'm not sure I trust him, but if what he said was right, that maybe they didn't, this person, this cloaked, hooded person wasn't expecting them to beat us. It may have been more that they just needed to get us here. Maybe the others are just collateral.
When you say that, Jiminy just kind of starts to break down a bit more. Looking at his eyes, Jade, his pupils seem to almost be taking over the whites of his eyes. He starts to chuckle again, and just
Can I slap him again? I will just slap him again.
You slap him, and the laughing stops, but his face just kind of almost becomes stiff for a second, and his head locks into place, and then it almost snaps up, looking at you. And Jiminy looks at you and says, "Our souls are damned here for eternity. We are locked here." And he just starts to double over in pain.
Alright.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
I'm in my skivvies. I want to get out of here. I'm in pain.
All right.
That's Jonas, not joking.
Do we see the people walking anywhere specifically? They seem to be following in a line.
Yeah, so kind of watching these people walk down, they start to they are following the carpet, and then they seem to kind of just split off into different groups almost, kind of standing around this raised stone platform with a statue of a similar looking orc made out of stone. Similar looking orc to the one in the paintings. This stone statue is about 10 feet tall. In the corners of the room here, there are 2 candles on sconces that are shedding, strangely, plenty of light in this area. These 2 candles probably should only give about 20 feet of light, but they seem to be giving about like 60 feet worth of light, bright light in the area. And Jiminy Cricket starts to follow with you all as you start to walk, kind of just crawling on the ground. It's still doubled over in pain, very slowly walking with.
So this room has the same roof with sort of the glass ceiling.
Yeah, and it looks to be like a milkier glass. Not positive if it is yet or not, but looks to be.
Okay. I'll stick to the red carpet for the moment.
Yeah, coming into this room, let's see. Do I have any major explaining things in here that I wrote? Nope. No, it looks pretty similar to the other room. Just red brick walls, same ceiling. You can still hear the sound of the wind blowing in the distance. I'd say in this room, just because it's a little bit bigger, and you have more of that milky glass ceiling, you can see the shadowy essence seems to be carried in some, like, air current that's flowing around in this area. Kind of getting caught in eddies and swirling around, creating, kind of like little mini hurricane-looking things, and then they fade away. The people seem to just be standing almost catatonic at this point, just staring, locking eyes with the statue, including the 2 other ones that you spoke with earlier. Yeah. Jiminy Cricket also at this point kind of starts to crawl through and by everyone a little bit faster, and kind of gets up to where this other person is and sits down, starts to cough some more, and this black ooze just kind of splats out of his mouth and lands onto the ground.
Carver will take a step back from that. Does anyone have an idea? Do we...
I say we kill them.
Oh, sorry. Important thing too as well. There is 2 sets of double doors. At this side, and then there's another set of double doors at this side as well.
Well, there's really something about the statue. Oh. I think I will try to step up to the statue.
Okay.
And we'll stay close behind him.
Cool. So kind of stepping up and passing by, you just have to kind of push yourself through Jiminy Cricket and one of the other people. They let you by. You walk up some stone steps, again, kind of made out of this sandstone tiling. You come up to this statue, and it looks very, almost lifelike. Like, whoever carved this statue really was leaning in towards realism. You look at it a bit, and after about 5 seconds or so of just kind of looking it over, the statue starts to move and comes to life. Its eyes start to blink, and this voice comes from it. Let's see. This voice comes out of it as it starts to look down at the people who are catatonic standing in front of the platform. It says, "Let's see if any one of you can prove you are worthy of this new power that I have given you, that I have so gratefully blessed upon you. Oh, and also, you four." And the statue points towards Jade, Carver, Dorian, and Blaze. "Please, try to live through this short bit. Sadly, my plans worked a little too well. You're gonna get a little caught in some of the crossfire. Do enjoy yourselves." The statue kind of starts to close its eyes and return to a stiff point. Looking back at the people, especially Jiminy Cricket, you see all of their eyes are now just black pupils, nothing else. There seems to be almost this shadowy essence similar to the stuff above the ceiling flowing out of their eyes and down their cheeks. They all start to laugh in unison with each other in the same way that Jiminy Cricket was. And one by one, each of these people start to contort, their bones snapping and popping and dislocating out of place. Their forms start to shift into these taller, more ghastly forms. Let's see, is there a good descriptor? I can just display in VTT.
We're about to get attacked by ring wraiths.
Oh no. Oh, there it is. Ooh, cool. Sorry, my roll 20 lagged out there and kind of broke for a second. But yeah, they start to transform into these creatures. Let me get... Oh, let's do this the smart way. Oh, that wasn't the smart way. That was the dumb. Roll 20? What just happened? I'm sorry, roll 20 is not having a good day right now.
Oh, good. Carver would yell out to Blaze to basically go, get ready with that bow.
All of them start to turn into it, except for Jiminy Cricket and the one standing next to him. Two of these spirits lash forward and just take their new talon hands and swipe them across the throats of these people. No blood comes out of it, out of this wound, but their bodies drop and fade out of existence. as two of them kind of rush forward and swipe up against those two. The statue kind of lets out another chuckle and says, I guess those two were not worthy of my new power. Everybody roll initiative.
They killed Jiminy.
Okay, can you, for the idiot of the group, which is me, one last time say whether or not our AC stays the same, even though we don't have armor on?
Your AC is going to stay the same as what it was, even without the armor.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck you all over too much. That'd be really mean.
I mean,
Hey guys, I got a new character. Oh.
I mean, carvers would stay the same anyway. so,
Fair.
so
Alrighty. Blaze, what is your passive perception?
$15.
Okay. So yeah, there is 5 of these spirits, standing ready to attack. The 2 that killed Jiminy Cricket and the other, they are facing towards the 2 of you, and then these 3 are kind of looking inwards towards Carver and Jade. Ew.
Hunter's mark on this one.
Alright.
Then I shoot.
Oh yeah, that'll smack into this creature.
Okay, I technically get advantage, so I roll again.
Cool.
Oh, wow, what a difference.
Very nice.
And again.
Very good. 17 damage, or 16 damage twice.
Please tell me it looks hurt.
It's looking pretty hurt. It's about bloodied.
Well, that's the end of my turn. Good luck, everyone.
Sorry, really quick.
oh, I'm yawning a bit today. This is crazy.
Alrighty.
This is I'm nervous here. I'm not sure what to
Yeah, I think
do.
I will just take a step right here, and I'm going to try to also attack twice the one that Blaze just shot.
Sounds good. Let's see. The 13 will hit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, look, as you stab into this creature with that, with your glaive, all they really seem to have on are these black robes, and they have kind of golden necklace chains, hoods that are covering their faces, and you stab forward. Their form seems to almost just be composed of a shadowy essence, and nothing more. But your glaive stabs into it, dealing good amount of... Yeah, this creature here is not doing too hot.
That will be it for me.
Perfect. Alrighty, so Dorian, we are.
Guess just gonna use Eldritch Blast on the one next to it.
Sounds good. Oof. Yeah, that nat one, it just kind of, as you first try to do the first blast, you hold out your arm or your spell focus trying to cast it, and the spell almost backfires on you. You try to channel your energy again, and you luckily are able to get one out with plenty enough to hit. Very nice. As this force damage smashes into this creature, you see part of its shadowy essence just like shoot back onto the ground, and it splatters across the ground, almost turning into like an ink consistency. Force damage seemed to really fuck this thing up.
Way, something I'm good for. Also for my bonus action, gonna pop up a Tentacle of the Deep.
Ooh, very nice.
And pop that baby right there.
Perfect. Oh yeah, that'll smack into. As this tentacle slaps across this indentured spirit, you see the cold damage start to freeze across this spirit's body, but that shadowy essence almost starts to evaporate the cold immediately. It seems to take no damage from cold damage.
What a waste of a spectral tentacle. Okay then. Dorian's gonna step back one, and that's me go.
Alrighty. Carver, we are to you.
Carver will step down to here. I will rage. Go into a rage, and then I will attack this one here with my greatsword. I will reckless. 15.
That'll do it.
Hits. It's not a great roll, but it's good enough. Oof. That's a decent effort. Yeah, 20 points.
It is barely alive after that attack, and from the Eldritch Blast it took earlier as well.
So I'll just do a second attack at it. That one will hit.
Yeah.
15 points of damage.
That'll be enough to finish that one off. As you do, you give another slash of your greatsword, and it cuts through this indentured servant, the shadow essence completely dispersing around the room in a almost a shockwave-like blast. All that's left are robes and gold chain, and they tumble down to the ground, making a little bit of a clanging noise as the gold chains hit the ground.
And I will step then across to there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Alrighty. As we get to the end of your turn, because I'm a goober, and I kind of forgot something important, even though I looked at my notes and thought I didn't. everyone notices as this first round of combat is getting relatively close to coming to an end, everyone notices a nasty smell of just death hanging about in this room. It seems to... Jade and Carver, you're the first to notice it. The smell seems to almost be coming out from the walls themselves. At first it smelled like it was here, and now it seems like it's coming out from over here. Now it seems like the smell's coming over here, and at that point, Blaze and Dorian, you can smell it. It doesn't smell good. I'll let everyone give me perception checks. Even though it's technically not your turns, but that's okay. Oh, nice. Jade staring... actually, everyone got really good rolls. Was there stealth? Oof, alright. Even with those good rolls, Jade is the only one who notices, in these two corners, behind the sconces with the candles sticking out of them, the flame is flickering, and against the wall, there's a shadow that shouldn't be there. It seems to be in the form of a bipedal thing. Kind of hard to tell. Seems to have a round head, 2 arms with long claws, 2 legs with, again, kind of like long talons for feet. And it seems to be like sticking onto the wall, kind of in a Spider-Man pose, looking, and the shadow seems to almost be looking at you.
Can I like yell out as I point to the corners, or do I have to do that on my time?
I'm good with you being able to yell it out now.
There's something on those corners. I don't know, shadow, something invisible. There's something there.
Ooh.
As you yell that, kind of giving away some of the surprise that these creatures would have had, these shadowy forms lurch off of the wall. They have these twisted tongues that start to like dangle and hang and swing as they start to crawl across the ground on all fours. One of them, 5, 10, 15, 20, starts to charge up towards Dorian, and the other to Blaze. Each of them are going to make 2 attacks at the 2 of you. Alright, so Blaze, we have a 14 and a 13.
Nope, neither of those hit.
Alrighty. Dorian, we have a 16 and a 26.
Oh, that just barely hit. Both of them fucking hit.
Okay. So from the first attack, this creature runs up, its tongue untwists so that it can open its mouth fully, and it gets a bite down onto your arm. Even though your arm's kind of flickering in and out, it seems to get its teeth sunken into you still. And you take 11 points of slashing damage. And from the claws, you take... What is that? What is this number? Oh, Cooper. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, and you take 10 points of slashing damage from that. Alright, you're good on the save. As these claws scratch into you, you feel your body almost freeze up, but you're able to regain control of your muscles, and you're able to fight off whatever was trying to attack your form. But that's their turn. The spirits... Gonna move up closer. 5, 10, 15... Yeah. they'll kind of just all tuck into each other. This spirit here is going to attack at Jade. The other 3 are going to attack at Carver. 13 to Jade, I don't think hits.
Nope.
13, 7, and a 12 to Carver, so none of those hit you.
Nope.
Yeah, their turns are pretty uneventful here. Or the spirit's turns. But Blaze, we are to you.
Well, isn't that great to have an archer right in the face of an enemy? Casting Zephyr Strike as a bonus action.
Very nice.
Yes, and I'm moving the fuck away.
Oh, so sorry. Really quick, at the start of your turn as well, being so close to this creature, you can see that this is the thing that is creating the stench. Make me a Constitution saving throw. You're good. This stench ain't bothering you too bad.
Well, thank God for that.
You can tell something smells when you can see the stench.
Yeah.
That's...
Okay, even though I found this mark on someone else, I'm going to attack this one here. The one right in front of Dorian.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And damage it again.
And then do you get the D8 of force damage with that as well? From Zephyr Strike?
Oh yeah, for the first attack. I forgot to add that. I'm an idiot.
Oh, good, no worries.
Does the 18 hit? Maybe.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. There's the 1d8.
Perfect. Yeah, you deal some solid damage onto this creature, similar to the spirits. As this force damage knocks into it, part of the shadow just splats up against the wall. The force damage seems to have hurt it quite a bit.
Okay, I'm afraid that's all I can do.
Alrighty. Jade, back to you.
First I'm going to look at Carver and sort of ask, are you going to be okay here?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, and then I will walk here, and the shadow next to me can take his attack if he wants to. And I will go here, then speed.
Okay. A 14 I don't think hits.
Nope. And as I sort of arrive here, I'm going to do this pirouette slash and attack the guy in front of Dorian twice.
Sounds good.
Once.
Alrighty. As your first attack will go through. Let's roll damage for that real quick. Very nice. Your second glaive attack, as you try to, actually no, nothing too bad happens here. Never mind. It's just a really embarrassing whiff. Everyone seems to be pretty caught up in combat. Please,
Really interesting.
Who saw that?
Really interesting though. I said I've got it here, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh.
And as my bonus action, I will try to give a Shield of Faith to Dorian as well.
Very nice.
Very cool.
Righty. End of turn? Yeah.
Yep.
Dorian, At the start of your turn, the stench of this creature is gnarly. Make a Constitution saving throw.
I should have been a full vampire. Half vampire apparently still has me gagging at death.
You're good. It stinks pretty bad, but yeah, like you say, half vampire. It's death. Whatever.
Okay, as my bonus action, I'm just kind of leaving that tentacle out there now. What's the point? I am gonna cast Flame Blade. And as my
Ooh,
action,
good.
I'm gonna try and stab it.
Alrighty, give me that attack roll.
Oof.
Yeah, you stab it.
8's better than nothing.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to say earlier, after Jade's attacks, the creature in front of you is bloodied. So this fire damage from this blade, this scimitar blade strikes across it, the fire spreading across the body, creating these light patches where you can completely see through it as the shadow disappears. But then its shadow starts to kind of reform over that fire to snuff it out. It's hurting pretty bad.
Okay, and that's my turn.
Carver, there's a bunch of these spirits around you.
Yeah. Carver will see this and see that this one here is a little bit damaged at this moment in time. So we'll take his first swipe at it recklessly.
Sounds good.
And 19 damage.
Oh yeah, that's enough to finish that one.
And none of these others have been hit yet, right?
Correct.
He will just go with the one at the top of the stairs with his second attack.
Sounds good.
Ooh.
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah, so whatever that is, 25 points of damage.
Yeah, hot damn. Very nice. Yeah, in your rage, as you just bring the sword down, you chop off like an entire arm of this creature that doesn't reattach back to it. The arm splats onto the ground, turning it again into that almost ink-like substance, splattering everywhere. A little bit of it kind of gets onto your glowy form across your foot and shin.
Yeah, I think that's all I can do. I will I want to just quickly glance up at the statue and just check that there's no additional movement or something happening at the statue at this point in time. If I can.
Looking at the statue, you see one of its eyes seems to be opened, as if it's kind of like peeking, and when you make eye contact with it, it shuts it again real quick.
Okay. Yeah, that will be my turn.
Alright. That's adorable. Alright, these creatures. This one is gonna kind of turn back towards you, Jade, and is going to give an attack with its bite and its claws. Its claw attack will not hit you with an 11, but a 23 coming through with its bite, I'm gonna guess is gonna land.
Yeah.
You take 14 points of slashing damage.
Okay. I have to make a save for Shield of Faith.
You're good. The other one is going to fight Dorian in front of him. The bite is a 13, but the claw 26.
Yeah, that hits.
So you'll take. I'll need another Constitution saving throw, and you take another 10 points of slashing damage.
They're hitting hard.
Looking dangerous.
They're hitting hard.
I have to make 2 Constitution saving throws because the sword is also con.
Oh, that's not
You
good.
can tell me which one's which, dude.
Okay.
Technically, I think the first one would be from when he hits me.
Yeah, I think that would make
Something
sense.
like-
I should make a point of order for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as this claw attack hits you, you feel your body lock up, your muscles tensing without your control. You are paralyzed for 1 minute, but you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
And it kills me with my 9 hit points.
Oh.
The other one, they both attacked. Indentured Spirit's turn, 3 attacks out against Carver. They cannot roll to save their lives. The highest roll there was a 12.
That misses.
They're trying, but they're just being sad boys. Blaze, we are to you. The thing in front of Dorian is looking pretty brutal. Or pretty beat up.
Yeah, that's the thing I'll be attacking. I'm going to move my Hunter's Mark as my bonus action from the dead one down here to... I mean, how banged up does this one look?
More than bloodied. Or sorry, a little bit more than bloodied.
Oh fuck it, just to be on the safe side, I'll move my Hunter's Mark to this one. And
Sure.
then I'm gonna give 2 attacks.
Uh, 15 is what you need to get.
Go for that.
Dorian enters into the party and then gets smacked.
Oh yes, die bitch.
Yep. Nice.
Plenty of damage. This creature, 2 arrows pierce into it. As the second one does, the shadow form seems to almost like get sucked into the point at which the arrow tip hits the body of this creature, turning it into just this shadowy marble when it falls down to the ground.
That is all for me.
Alrighty. Jade, we're up to you.
I think I'm just going to jump on this creature's dead body and stand between this one and Dorian, and I'm going to press my hands against the biggest of Dorian's wounds, and I'm going to lay on hands 20 hit points for him.
Ooh, actually, really quick, make me a Constitution saving throw for starting your turn close to these people. Their stench is gross. Alrighty. You are poisoned for right now from the smell that is coming off of this creature. I don't think that affects lay on hands, though. So
No. Yeah, so I will give Dorian 20 hit points.
Dorian tries to wink to say thanks, but, you know,
Yeah.
looks horrific.
anything
Yeah,
else, Jade?
Yeah, that's it. Bonus action, I will just try to like, hey, look at me, big guy! Try to get this one's attention.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty drawn to you as you make yourself the bigger target. It seems to kind of sniff at Dorian a little bit, but your movements draw its attention to you. It locks eyes and just... at you. Dorian, what do you do?
Is there anything I can do when paralyzed?
Oh, sorry, that's right. Make me a saving throw. Constitution.
You get +3 now.
Oh, thank God you get that +3. Okay. With that +3, you just meet that DC. And you feel the control of your body come back to you, your muscles no longer tensing up. But that is your turn. Carver. It's you.
Alright. Yeah, I think I'll try to keep all of these busy and hope that the other three are okay dealing with the other ones. I would swipe out at the one that I attacked last time. Again, given that they're struggling to hit me, I'll go recklessly again. At 21 points of damage.
Very good. This creature is bloody.
And I'll swipe at it.
More than bloody.
Swipe at it again. Not as high that time, but plenty to hit. 14 points of damage.
This creature is barely hanging on. The shadowy essence that makes up its form is just tattered and torn. It's barely tethered to this place anymore.
Yeah, I will stand there. I'll just sort of, in my rage element, sort of be screaming, but screaming directly at the statue.
Okay.
Trying to intimidate it to come at me. Or to...
Okay. Yeah, screaming at it pretty scarily. Actually, roll an intimidation for me, just for funsies. Very nice. Okay. You're almost positive. You see, like, the statue, like, almost jump a little bit and cower. But then it kind of holds still in its stiff form. Doesn't seem to want to come towards you.
Okay.
But we are now to Shadow Boy's turn. Pretty distracted by Jade's noises and making yourself bigger. Oof. The claws swipe at you for a 23.
Hits.
So you'll do a Constitution saving throw, and you take 11 points of damage. Alright, you're good. You weren't poisoned. But then I guess also con save for Shield of Faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're golden. And its bite will come at you for a 17.
Just hits.
Okay. You will take that 9 points of damage.
Okay.
But that is its turn. Mm-hmm.
For Shield of Faith.
Yeah, I think it's good, because all of those damages that you received were under 10, so you got over 10, so you're good.
Alright.
Alrighty, these spirits, they're looking pretty weak, Carver. I'm trying really hard to hit you. Okay. One of them finally does good. And gets a natural 20.
Ooh, okay.
Deals 10 points of damage to you. 7 slashing, 3... Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. These guys do necrotic damage. My bad. So all of that is 10 necrotic damage.
So reduced to 5?
Correct.
Yep.
The other attacks are just abysmal. They're not even above 10.
All right.
They're trying, but they're not doing good. Blaze, we're back to you.
Moving on to smart from the one to this one. And I'm gonna shoot again. I like the variety with the ranger. You can do so many different things.
Very good.
You could go up and you could go up and use your sword, man.
I don't have a sword.
Ah, damn it. Oops. Sorry.
I mean, I never had one to begin with.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you.
But
Yeah.
Don't.
I had a quarterstaff, but you know, that's gone.
Yeah.
Alrighty, yeah, some good damage gets off onto it. And oh, sorry, Hunter's Mark. I forgot to put that token item on. There we go. Takes some good damage, but it seems to be doing somewhat okay right now.
Sure, why not?
Jade, where's you?
Yeah. I'm just going to try and smack this guy twice with disadvantage because I'm poisoned.
Right, the first attack misses, but the second attack will hit.
And I will add the second level Divine Smite, the second one,
Very nice.
to add a Fiend or Undead.
These are undead, yes.
Great, so that will. Okay, so that's normal damage. And 17 Radiant.
Very good. This radiant damage, as it smacks into this creature, it sends this almost bright light through this room, and as the bright light dims, it seems as if this creature is almost shorter and smaller. That radiant damage seemed to do more damage than you expected it to.
Right, and as quick as my slash quickly ends, I'm gonna do this sort of video game power up where my weapon lights up, and I'm going to harness divine power to regain the spell slot I just used for that divine smite
Very cool.
as bonus action, and that's my turn.
Alrighty, Dorian, looking at this creature in front of you, or beside you, it is barely hanging on. After that radiant blast coursing through its body, the shadow form that makes up this creature is barely able to hold on.
How tall is the ceilings?
The ceilings are about 10 feet tall, from floor to ceiling.
Okay, so I'm gonna run up the wall and just stand
Very
on
nice.
the ceiling to try and get a bit more distance.
I like it. Cool.
So technically he's upside down, standing normally. Moving back one, and he's gonna shoot Eldritch Blast at him.
Sounds good.
Oh.
Again, that first time you try to cast it, your form, it almost temporarily blips out of existence, but comes back right as you were going to cast Eldritch Blast, and the spell just completely fizzles. But the second one comes out ready to fucking go.
I have it in my head that I cast with my like a crystal on a staff.
Ooh, very nice.
But I like the idea that I run up the wall and kind of almost drop it. And I'm like, uh-oh. And use the
Yeah.
flaming sword to try and flick it back up into my hand.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And that is plenty damage to finish this creature. The bigger threat seems to be taken care of. All that's left are 3 of the indentured spirits. One of them barely hanging on, the other 2 completely untouched. Anything else?
For shits and giggles, I'm gonna try and move that tentacle up to the statue and attack that.
Okay, give me an attack. Yeah. Yeah, as this tentacle smacks into it, kind of instantly, or flash freezing a piece of the stone, and a chunk of it kind of falls off. Both of the eyes snap wide on the statue, and it, kind of like grabs its leg, lifting it, almost hopping on one leg, going, "Owie, owie, owie! Why? Don't hurt me! Don't hit this statue!"
Oh my god, we're dealing with a child, everyone. I'm so sorry. It must be someone with immense magical abilities that don't know they have them.
But with that, Carver, we are to you. Sorry, unless you wanted to move at all. Or anymore.
No, I'm gonna stay right there.
Okay.
Okay, Carver will just hack away at this one here. Recklessly.
Oh, yeah, that's enough to finish this
17.
creature off. You give a solid attack, and similar to the first one you killed, when you swipe through it, the shadow form just dissipates in a shockwave as the cloak and chains fall down to the ground.
And take another one at this one, sort of just hacking away. Oh!
Ooh, yeah.
Not the best roll. Even with the re-rolls of the ones, I managed to roll ones. Anyway, 21 points of damage.
Very good. A good chunk of damage out against this creature. Your rage just coursing through your veins, giving just one attack at this creature, and in one smooth motion, continuing with that momentum, spinning around and slashing across this other creature. It's hurting, but it's not bloodied yet.
Okay. And as a bonus action, I will use my second wind just to get back some hit points while I'm there. 3 hit points while I'm there. Whatever.
Alrighty.
Every bit counts.
Mm-hmm.
And that is... No, I think he'll stay there and again sort of almost mockingly laugh at the statue for being attacked by a tentacle. Yep.
Does an 18 hit?
18 is my armor class.
Alrighty. And they got stupid damage off, finally. A decent hit. The one that you just attacked retaliates against you. Instead of swiping at you, just kind of tries to push its hand and put it onto your shoulder. As it does, this necrotic energy courses through this silhouette of your form. You can kind of see this blackened energy coursing throughout the bright light that your body is giving off, and you take 14 points of necrotic damage, half to 7.
Okay.
The other two with their attacks. Blaze, we're to you.
Well, I take it now that they're dead, they're not stinky anymore. So I can move up again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be taking the hunter's mark off the dead dude and put it on this guy. And shoot. Oh no.
Luckily on these ones, their AC is very low and your arrow will still make contact.
Nice. And again. Oh, well, not that low, I'm assuming.
That is what you need to hit.
Okay. I take it. That is all.
Very good damage across this creature. Its form is barely holding on. It is more than bloodied. Jade.
Jade will start by taking a deeper breath because he also is a little below on hit points, and then quickly run up here and just smack twice this one. Still a disadvantage.
Sadly, with those attacks, you're too low to hit this creature. You're a little bit away, and you're still trying to get over the smell of those creatures, and it's just almost disorientating how bad that smell was, and both of your attacks just kind of go to either side of the creature.
Yeah, that's alright, that's it.
Dorian.
Gonna move up 35 feet and shoot the back one with Eldritch Blast.
Both of those hit. And this one, yeah?
The back one.
That one. Cool, cool, cool. Oh yeah, so that's 17 force. Yeah, some really solid damage. As these two Eldritch Blasts, arc into this creature and, explode with their force damage, again, it does a lot of damage. They seem to be pretty weak to the force damage, and with those two attacks, this creature is bloodied.
And as my bonus action, I'm going to try and spank the statue.
Very good.
Spank the statue with your...
Yeah, you hit it again.
So
a smaller chunk gets flash frozen off again. This time, though, the statue looks up towards you, Dorian, and says, "If you don't stop this, I may end your life quicker than you want it to be ended."
I'll get in line.
Anything else?
No, that's it, thank you.
Alrighty, Carver, the one in front of you here is very weak, and the one below you is bloodied.
Alright, seeing the reaction that he gave to being hit again, I'm just going to see if we can get rid of these guys in the meantime. I will whack this guy again. I'm not going to reckless this one. Just a regular attack.
Very good.
For 16 points of damage.
Enough to finish that one off.
And then take a swipe at the other one.
Oh yeah.
17.
Creature's still alive, but it's barely holding on.
And then if I can, just for the thing, I will go there, and if I can hop up there and stay in, is it, how high is it to hop up?
I'd say it's about a 5-foot hop. So if you do go there, it will be leaving this spirit's range.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just because it doesn't have a 10-foot reach attack, it would be leaving its range.
Okay, the tendrils, where the tendril holds its own space, right?
I believe so.
I'll stay there, so at least I'm, just in case this thing does decide to do anything stupid, I will stay there. And that will be my turn.
Sounds good. This creature will give an attack off against you.
Disadvantage this time?
Ah, yes, thank you. Well, it doesn't matter. It got a 1 with its first roll.
Okay. Nice.
It tries to attack you in a similar way that the other one does, by just kind of slowly moving out its hand, trying to touch it to your shoulder. But this thing's just moving very slowly. I'll say you can have an opportunity attack against it.
Oh, okay.
Nice. And with that, you finish off this creature. Combat effectively ended. The room returns to a still, quiet place, and Jade, the poison starts to fade off now. The shadow ghast's smell starts to go away as their bodies are just kind of melting into the sandstone things.
Got ourselves into a firefight for a second.
Yeah. Ew.
Carver's going to actually, while he's still there, jump up there or step up there. And I'm going to actually grab the statue. Is it stone?
Yeah, it seems to be made out of stone, really nicely carved.
Can I
very realistic.
Can I somewhat try to I want to grab it in the sort of in a grapple style. I want to be like when I go, what have you done to us? What have you done to us? What did you do to them? And I'm just going to try to grab so that he can't do anything else silly, but just talk if possible.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like wrap your arms around his arms and torso kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me an athletics check.
Okay, just 1 second. Need to check something. So I got advantage with this, right? Because I still would be raging.
Yeah, your rage is still going on. Yeah. You get a really solid grip. You're only barely able to lock your fingers around each other when wrapping around the other side, but you get a pretty solid grasp. And as you're saying that and wrapping your arms around it, the eyes open up again, and the statue looks down at you and says, I didn't think one of your kind would be so into hugs. Don't worry, as long as you don't attack me, I won't attack you.
What have you done to us?
Well, I needed to transport the 4 of you. This seemed to be the easiest way.
Why?
We all have our reasons in this world, don't we? Why don't you eat or sleep?
Because I don't need to. You're doing something because you do need to. That's why I asked you why you have done this.
I love it. The stone head kind of stiffly moves down, looking more directly at you, and says, well, your group seemed to have angered some very, very powerful people. People that just happen to be my employers.
Your employers.
I feel that I've answered plenty of questions now. Please, you're stuck here, so feel free. Wander around this area to your heart's content. Try to learn whatever trivial things you'd like to learn. In time, eventually, we'll end up to where I need to take you, and I'll let my master deal with you.
And I can
Will you let me go now?
Can I tell from the size or whatever that it would we're outmatched if we wanted to challenge that? Can I?
Roll a wisdom check for me.
Just a perception or?
Yeah, perception works. It's definitely a tall statue. It's about 8 feet tall. Seems to be pretty sturdy and well built. But the tentacle, I mean, the cold damage seemed to be chipping away at it. You may be able to take this.
Am I still raging?
Yeah. Rage lasts for a minute, yes?
It lasts for a minute, but I need to make sure that I'm technically grappling, so I don't know whether that counts as having attacked a hostile creature.
That reason right now, I'll say that'll go ahead and count. You made a grapple check. That's being aggressive. We talked for a bit. I'll say it's kind of at the back side of the rage now, though, because you went through...
I'm just going to yell out. I'm going to yell out, hit it!
And we all break into a dance number.
Damn it! Not that wasn't the reaction I was expecting. I've got him grappled, so he's technically not able to take actions against us until he breaks it. So, if you're wanting to hit him now, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'll say if you want to go ahead and do something with that, we can do a surprise round.
Blaze stays where he is. Because it's too far to make it in one go and he's scared that shit's gonna go down and he's too close.
Now I'm shooting Eldritch Blast at it, and I'm hitting with the tentacle.
Okay. Eldritch Blast and Tentacle. Go ahead and throw out your attacks for me, if there's rolls tied to them.
I'm gonna try to... once they hit... Yeah. Oh, wait. God, you're not rolling well tonight. Wow. I want to trying to keep hold of the grapple, or just to... I don't know how to do it. Can I punch him and keep him grappled? I can, can't I?
I will say because of how you're grappling him to kind of keep him really subdued,
okay.
You don't really have an attack that you can do, yeah.
Can I suplex him?
Okay, no, that is fair. You could try to suplex him, yeah. Athletics check? Ooh, man. That was a close one. But you just... A few attacks will come out from people, and then I'll say you can suplex it.
Go for
it. Jade, was there anything you wanted to...
No, I think Jade is kind of still, getting together from last battle. Yeah, no, it's good, I'm good.
Alrighty, so, for your Eldritch Blast, Dorian, go ahead and roll those. The damage... Or the Eldritch Blast.
One. That's
yeah. Alright, yeah, some good damage goes off onto it. And Blaze, I'm so sorry, what did you say you were doing?
Blaze is saying if anything he'd shoot at him, but he's not punching him. I don't know whether that was even requested, but...
I
I
meant
can shoot, I'll shoot.
I meant hitters in shoot people.
What are you saying, mate?
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, you can shoot an arrow.
Can I, is it a surprise round?
It essentially is, but I'll say for this I'll give you bonus action and action.
Okay, cool. Then I'm moving my hunter's mark off the dead dude onto the statue. Are orcs humanoid?
Yes, they are. Yep, this is a human.
Hey! Shoot.
Yes, that'll hit. Very good.
Again, if I may.
Yes. So this flurry of attacks comes out of the statue, and then it gets suplexed. Carver, roll a d4 for me for the suplex. You're a pretty hefty person. The statue's pretty heavy. This is hard ground. Very nice. Before this thing gets a turn, the group unleashes a flurry of attacks with Carver suplexing it, and as you suplex it into the ground, the statue just shatters into a bunch of different pieces. There's this loud crack of thunder throughout this room as the statue shatters. Carver, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh God. I've rolled so well up until then.
You take 10 points of bludgeoning/force damage as these shards of rubble just shoot out across everywhere.
Is that rounded down already?
Oh no.
No,
Round
okay.
that down.
Good.
As the statue is destroyed and that crack of thunder goes out, within the thunder, you swear you can almost hear the voice of the statue saying, "You've made a mistake by doing this." You are now in an empty room. All that is here is 2 candles at these corners that are lighting up the entirety of this room, and 2 sets of double doors, one on the left and one on the right.
I'll just have a look around. You said that some things dropped from them.
Yeah, they have golden chains. They kind of look like the one that hanging around their neck kind of looks like the Millennium Puzzle from Yu-Gi-Oh, which is just kind of like this pyramid with a Egyptian-style eye on one of the faces. Besides that, there's some like gold chain that was running along the side of the shoulder of the cloak and kind of like drooping down below the collarbone. Looks like you could detach it if you wanted. Or you could leave it attached to the cloak and pick up the cloak itself.
Jade, do these seem like they're okay to pick up? I've picked up stuff lately that's been trying to get into my head. I just want to check.
I don't know. I don't think I have any means of
Yeah,
checking them.
okay.
Okay, unless I just pick them up myself, myself.
No. Dorian, do you have anything to check this? I mean, I was thinking maybe it could be useful for us each to have a cloak if we're moving anywhere.
I mean, I am in my skivvies still, so it might be pretty nice to get something to cover up.
Do we want to check them just to make sure there's nothing gonna do stuff to us?
Ooh, I don't. If I jump down, would I have to make some kind of roll to make sure I just don't land in a heap?
I'll catch you.
I think outside of combat, where things are calm, you're fine to just drop down. But if you're in combat where you're having to make split-second decisions, I'll probably have an acrobatics check around it.
Because at the moment, I think, like, in my head canon, he looks cool, and it would completely my ego if I'm like, alright, I'm jumping down, and he just crumples like a sack of shit. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So, third character coming up.
Yeah, no, you're able to just jump down, being outside of combat.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fancy jump off the roof, man.
Oh, something I forgot to say too, Dorian, your feet, I mean, you're fine, nothing bad happened, but with your feet up against this milky glass-like ceiling, it feels almost, like as hard as quartz crystal, but it's also extremely cold to the touch. Like, it wasn't gonna hurt you or anything, but if you were to stay on that for maybe like 10 minutes or so, you probably could get frostbite.
I probably didn't notice it at first because my skin is just normally cold.
Yeah, so it took a bit to even notice that it was cold in the first place.
He just points out and goes, nippy. It's cold up there.
I'm glad that you said that second part.
I thought it was a common phrase, I'm sorry.
No, it is a common phrase, but I thought hit them was actually a common phrase.
But Blaze is not from this world, quite literally, so...
That's okay. I was at the end of a long, arduous battle. I am not shocked. Do you think that was the right thing to do with the statue?
Probably not. We're here now.
I just felt like people toying with us is not something I'm enjoying at this moment in time. He said he brought us here and he will decide when we can get out or when we can see the master. That seems to me to be, I don't like it. Are you able to check whether these cloaks are okay for us to take? Maybe we can put them on and get somewhat further without being seen.
Yeah, I bent down and sort of have a look.
If you don't have any specific spells to detect stuff, you can just give me an Arcana check.
I can create and destroy water on it. But I think I'm gonna...
Knowing that these cloaks just kind of apparated out of the people transitioning into these beings, this cloak is probably more like a skin cloak, even though it looks like leather. As far as bad stuff goes, though, it's probably fine. You're just most likely wearing the skin of another person.
Well, we could wear people's skin. Technically, leather, you know, is animal skin.
I think technically I'm already doing that. With at least half my body.
Big yikes, Calva, big yikes. We
Sorry.
all know that, but you saying it out
Sorry.
loud made it kind of gross.
Sorry. I didn't mean to freak you out. Apologize. Jade, are you...
Dorian just picks one up, puts it on.
Carver will do the same, seeing that.
Blaze still has a cloak, so he's fine.
I was thinking that they might be more useful for the stealthiness of this place. I'm not sure. We don't know what's through those doors. Yeah, I'll pick one up and also put the cloak on and go and quickly just check whether Jade is doing okay. You're a bit quiet.
Yeah,
Everything alright?
sorry. Yeah, just week after battle. If that's alright with you guys, I'd prefer not to wear human skin on myself, especially since, well, we just destroyed the statue of the big bad guy who brought us here. I don't think like putting on a fancy cloak is going to really make a difference.
Okay. Well, worst case scenario, we can always act as guards for you two or something like that. That's fine, if needed. Should we take a look through these doors, or...
In the background, everyone can see Dorian sort of do that, ooh, ah, ooh, as he's putting on the cloak, like just putting it on, sort of like.
Oh. 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 Very cool.
I love it.
Yes, we should actually find out what's behind those doors.
Okay. Should we take some light with us, or is everyone okay?
Oh, and that's also another thing. Carver, you are emitting 10 feet of bright light and 10 feet of dim light. So 20 feet of light total.
Oh.
Sorry, that was an important thing I forgot to state as well earlier.
I'm a torch, you guys.
If you'd like more light, you can hold up an actual torch and I can give you a bit more light, but if you're happy with 10 feet...
Well, I was just wondering about these lights on the wall, whether or not if they're shedding enough light in this room, maybe they're worthwhile taking with us anyway. If they're portable, that is.
I would use control flames and double the brightness of those candles.
Can we just go and check if they're removable?
Yeah. There are just some candles sitting in some sconces. You have to kind of push up from the bottom to get the candle to stick out a bit, and then you can grab around the top of it and lift it up out of the sconce.
Okay.
They're about halfway melted or so, but they seem like they'll probably shed light for a good few hours at a minimum.
Yeah, I'll take one just in case it gets darker in there as we're moving on. Jay, do you need a rest?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like a short rest would be good, at least for me. We can also carry on. I mean, I still have probably one battle left in me.
Should we maybe check through the doors and see what's on the other side?
Yeah, sure.
I'll walk up. I'll go over to the side of Dorian and just slowly go up and have wearing my coat.
Do the doors go up to the ceiling, or are they like 5 feet?
They go up about 6 feet or so, and then there's the red brick wall going up the rest of the 4 feet.
I could kind of spider it if you want, and sort of crawl around the door when you open it.
Yeah, we could do.
To have a look.
We could do that. Was there anything else on this altar sort of area behind the guy just as we are walking?
Yeah, give me a perception check. Amongst the rubble, you must have missed it when getting hit by the shrapnel from the statue exploding. Laying next to it, on the ground, is this reddish, teardrop-shaped gem. And it has this almost white swirl in the main drop point of it, kind of moving in a circle, or swirling around in a circle.
I'll point it out to Dorian and say, looks like he dropped something down. I'm nervous about picking things up lately.
Make an intelligence check for me, Carver.
Make a what?
An intelligence check.
Oh.
Actually, I guess it could be Arcana, if that has a proficiency bonus for you.
I just got a regular +1. I'll do Arcana. Oh, yeah, there. So that's as good as it gets.
Yeah. You're looking at it. It's a red gem with a white swirl.
Yeah. I don't want to pick that up anyway. So I was, yeah.
Okay, I'll pick it up with Mage Hand. That's invisible, so no one sees it, and I'm happy about that.
Very cool. Yeah, the stone just starts to lift up off the ground next to you, Carver, and starts to float back over to Dorian. Right now, if you want to check to see if it has any magic item or magic properties or anything like that, you'll have to attune with, or spend some time to essentially attune. You won't fully attune to it, but just kind of inspect the properties of it. So you'll need a short rest to see if it does anything, So for right now, it's just red teardrop gem.
I'm okay with trying to find out what this is. If everyone else is okay with me doing that.
Alright, then do we want to see what's through this door just to give ourselves some protection first, and then we
So you will need to take at least the amount of time for a short rest.
do we want to look behind the door just to see what's on the other side, just in case there's a whole bunch of people waiting, or leave it alone for the moment?
Might be kind of smart. Yeah, that's
We can do the whole, you can climb up and I'll just slowly open this door. There's no windows on the doors, right?
Yeah, correct. Just solid wooden doors. They have turning handles on them. You first go to push the door open, but it doesn't push. It seems to pull backwards.
Okay. So I want to sort of pull this door out so that I end up on this side behind the door, while Dorian basically being above me, so that he can sort of sneak a look over and into the room. I assume that's what you wanted to do, Dorian.
Yeah, to see if there's anyone inside, and if there's no one, he's gonna Spider Man sort of walk on the ceiling, tucking in his cloak between his legs to make sure he doesn't flap and hit anything in the face if there was.
Carver's not looking up. It's okay.
You can look as much as you want.
Crawling through the door and being on the ceiling, it seems to be a hallway that splits off, that goes down and then splits off up here, and also goes down the other way.
Okay.
If you want, you can give me a perception check to listen to stuff, or you can move out further if you want, but can hear off, coming up from this direction, the sound of a chain kind of scraping across the ground. Like a metal chain scraping against the sandstone tile.
I sort of like kick my leg a little bit to get Carver's attention and cast message to tell him I hear chains coming off down the hallway.
Come back. Yeah, I would say. I think Jaden, Blaze, and you wanted to do the thing. I can keep watch while we wait.
He nods and sort of goes there.
And
Okay. Taking some time to do a short rest then. Carver, you'll give me a perception check for your watch. And people who are resting can use hit points, or hit dice to heal back hit points. Dorian, you are inspecting the item.
Would I still be able to do hit points, or is it just the item?
I'll let you restore hit points. And also, Carver, I'll let you, if you want to spend hit dice as well, you can, because sitting watch here is just sitting down and listening. So,
yeah,
it's not too involved.
It's an interesting thing with the sentries. With the sentries rest, it sort of says it's only on a long rest, but he basically sits there and is watching. I think that's how I take it. Inactive and emotionless. Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So with that 19, you... Off in the distance, you can kind of hear that sound that Dorian was speaking of. It sounds like somewhere off up in this direction, there is, the sound of a metal chain just kind of being dragged across the floor. Listening closely, it sounds like maybe there's multiple chains being dragged. But besides that, it's uneventful, and it's a quiet, short rest. Dorian, inspecting this gem a bit more, and spending some time with it, it seems to just be the, I guess, quote-unquote, life essence of that statue. And it effectively acts as a health potion. It feels like you could easily shatter this gem in your hand. Use it as a bonus action, shatter the gem, and you heal back, sorry, just checking the health potion things. You heal back 4d4 plus 4 hit points.
He would tell everyone that is basically a health potion, but more shattery.
It's very life gem from Dark Souls 2, just in a teardrop shape.
Very cool.
But yeah, as we are doing the short rest, I think now would be a perfect time to go ahead and do a break, if that's good with everyone.
Yep.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Oh, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we'll come back here in a little bit.
Okay.
Continue through this dungeon.
Whew. Okay, the first one was cool. I mean, that's really yeah, that brought me in. I was feeling like, what are we doing? And the other guy's taking hits at the back. I mean, Carver's doing what he's there for. He's basically standing there and having people take swipes at him, and luckily he's not rolling well. Otherwise, yeah. But I mean, that's that whole thing with the character to be able to stand there and take those. That's the whole barbarian with rage thing. But I'm nervous. Whether that was the right thing. I was in there as Carver, sort of still in that rage, and this guy threatening his team. Then Carver would hear that and take that as a threat, and therefore try to convince the person otherwise. But he didn't convince me as a player that he wasn't just a threat still. And therefore, as Carver, didn't convince him as a threat still. Now, Carver's not very wise. He's got a little bit of intelligence on his side, but he's not wise. And so the decision on that was really purely based on, is he a threat to my team? And I think Carver picked the way he picked. The fact that the others fired at him meant that he felt even more justified in that, and so went from there. Anyway, quick break. I'll be back in a moment.
Are we all here?
Yes.
I think so.
Yep.
Alrighty, cool. Well, we can jump back into it then.
We're back.
You all had a pretty gnarly fight, but short rested, found a little Healy gem of sorts. Carver stayed watch, or kept watch for a while, and just heard some more of the scratching noises of the chains off in the distance, up in the kind of, I guess, northeastern part of this place. But you feel rested and ready to move on. What do you do?
I'll let them know that there was, like, it seems like the things are going in circles on those chains, so we... Blaze, was Peanut back at the house?
I don't know. Let's just say yes. Unless you want Peanut here, then Peanut obviously is here.
Well, no, I was just wondering about the things on chains behind. I just noticed Peanut, whether Peanut was here or not, was my fear.
Yeah, I was asking myself the same question about like an hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah, you haven't seen Peanut here. Whether you left Peanut in the oh wait, no, you were starting to pack up and leave out of the tavern, I think. So I think you would have had Peanut with you, but I haven't seen Peanut at all.
Okay.
And Carver, you haven't seen I forgot the name we gave your Chimestone creature, but you haven't seen that thing either.
Doesn't have a name yet.
Gotcha.
And I was wondering that as well. I assumed that when you said none of our possessions other than Thingo, I'm not sure whether they count as possessions yet. I don't think so. Anyway. Okay. So, do we want to check the other direction as well, or do we want to see what is making these sounds?
Let's fucking have a look at what's making these noises.
Alright. And it's just Dorian and Carver in cloaks, correct?
At the yes.
I didn't like how you said that.
More so it's just a reminder for myself.
So it's only those two? Alright, we'll walk in the front at least. I'll just whisper across to Dorian and to Jade. And it's like, that whole protective rage thing that I can do when I'm in that. I don't have a lot more of that to go. Okay, just to let you know.
It's okay. Many men suffer the same issues.
Carver has no idea what you mean by that. On a like, Carver would have no idea what the hell you just meant. To be honest.
Yeah.
He's like, do they? Okay, that's weird. Like, okay, I'll look this way. You look that way.
Get the reveal tool thing up. So.
Trying to be as stealthy as possible.
Around, Dorian, on your side. Actually, that's a good point. Go ahead and roll stealth checks for me if we're being sneaky.
Ooh. Would I have time to activate the what's it called? Pass without trace? Oh, not.
Yeah, I'll say that you can, as you all are kind of walking through here and starting to be stealthy about it, you can activate your pass without a trace.
Great, so I will do that.
Also, if anyone was wearing heavy armor, you do not have to take disadvantage on this sneak check, even though you have the AC of it.
Oh, Jesus, H.
Wow, that's a 21 without the extra 10. Oh, God.
By the Pirate Queen, why do you forsake me?
Carver's being really, really quiet, and you're talking about men having problems really loud.
Yeah, that joke was just like really funny to you, Dorian, and let out a little chuckle. But the chuckle, for some reason, seems to almost just echo throughout these halls, passing Carver and going the direction that you're looking, Dorian.
Do you know what happens? I see the confused look on Carver's face, and I just look at him and I went, I meant your penis. Your penis.
So that just kind of echoes throughout the halls. Everyone else seems to be relatively stealthy, and I mean, you still have a 14 with the pass without a trace, so it's still pretty good. Carver, looking up in your, or I guess, sorry, Dorian, looking down your direction, the hallway turns and starts to continue on. It seems to be pretty dark in this hallway. Do you have dark vision?
I have 120 feet of dark vision.
Okay, so we can reveal a bit more of this area then. Oh, that's not the reveal tool. Okay. Looking down here, there's a hallway that has kind of like inlets on either side with these big tall mirrors hung up on the wall. There seems to be about 6 of them. And then at the end of the hall is another set of double doors.
Does everyone know about that?
Yeah.
See. There we go. Looking on this side, there are more of those indentured servants kind of walking around on chains. Oh, I forgot to put the post. Walking around in a circle are 3 of those indentured spirits kind of chained together to this post. Watching over them is someone who looks kind of like the hooded fellow that you thought, but it's just a full skeletal body instead of any resemblance of humanity. He has robes on and seems to have like a little small pouch of a bag and a pretty big staff with a skull on the end of it. Seems to just be watching over the spirits. as they're just kind of walking. Occasionally, one of the spirits stops, and this skeletal being holds up its hand, or reaches into its pouch, throws some dust onto the spirit, and it's this like necrotic spectral hand slaps across the creature, and it makes it move a little bit more, kind of acting as a whip in a way. Further down the hall, there seems to be kind of like an altar with an urn resting at the at the top of the basin. Pick me. Okay. You feel something wanting to connect into your mind to have a conversation, Carver.
Oh, God. Why? Why me?
You can
Think.
choose whether you want to accept it or not. It's not trying to force you into it. You're not feeling like you need to protect yourself. You feel the familiar tug.
He'll try to fight off the familiar tug. He doesn't like the familiar tug.
Yeah. Nothing. You kind of, as you start to deny it, that feeling starts to fade away.
Is the pole in the middle moving?
The pole isn't. It looks like it's like a steel or an iron rod that's up out of the ground, maybe 6 inches or so. There are like thick chain link metal chains tied around the neck of these servants or spirits, tied kind of wrapped around the post, with some leather kind of binding it around together.
I'll just mention to Dorian and Jade, if they're close enough, or everyone is like, something was trying to talk to me in my head again. I shook it off, but just be aware.
Okay, good to know.
I mean, what do we want to do? I mean, we had the other door back there. It looks like these things are just here. I mean, there's an urn at the other end, but...
Oh, and sorry, I also forgot to say too, there seems to be another single door at the end of the hallway here. Let me reveal that just a little bit more so it's a little bit more obvious. Kind of up at the top next to the urn on the right-hand side.
Do we wanna go up against those monsters again, or do we wanna check out the mirrors first?
I mean, if we can somewhat sneak past and check out the mirrors just to see what it is, that could... I mean...
Yeah, come on. The mirrors.
If you guys,
Worst
you
thing
guys,
can do, hey?
you guys sneak around to the mirrors, and if something comes nearby, I'll block it. But you sneak around to the mirrors first. I'll get ready to attack anything that comes by, and then I'll sneak around to you guys.
I hand cover the red gem, just in case you have to.
Okay.
Alrighty. So the group starts to sneak around, trying to pass by unnoticed. Carver, you're keeping a pretty good eye on them to make sure that the party's getting by stealthily. You do spot, Carver, that this spirit down on the bottom right here, it definitely notices everyone. Except for who rolled really good. Someone rolled good on that stealth.
Me.
Okay, so, except for you. But it doesn't do anything. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't alert anyone. It just sees the party moving, and turns its head.
Okay. You go, Blaze. I'll come in after you.
Alright. As I said earlier, the light is kind of starting to fade off from here. There seems to be a light source up in the room with the people on chains, but as far as the hallway, there is no other light source. Carver brings up some light, and I believe you also have the candle here,
Yeah.
so that helps to lighten it up. Yeah, so you start to walk across here, and you see these mirrors, and as you kind of get close to them, there seems to be an odd shimmer to the reflection in the mirror. In all of the mirrors. They all seem to have, like, when you have something really hot burning and it kind of creates that, what do you call it? Mirage, almost, like, kind of flowing through the air, and you can see the heat just causing the air to wobble. That is happening. It looks like from the reflection in the mirrors that's there.
That's probably a very stupid thing to do, but can I try to touch the mirror?
Yeah. You put your hand to it. And as you do, the mirror's reflection swirls a bit, and it starts to transition. Instead of a reflection, you see a familiar old building. See a window. Raindrops, thunder crackling in the distance. It seems almost as if there's a third observer, and it acts almost as like a camera, and it pans over. You see a familiar person you haven't seen in quite some time, and it seems like there's talk. Or sorry, you also see yourself there. Forgot to say that, but it's your younger self. Your friend has a book. Seem a little confused at this book at first, but you two start to kind of talk a bit and read, and look at the pictures in the book as well. You remove your hand from this mirror, and this all kind of happens in like a split second. As you remove your hand from the mirror, this image stays in the reflection.
Wow. I take a step back. Oh, that's. Do you guys see it?
Dude.
As you all look at this mirror, you all see this. What looks to be a younger Jade sitting next to a window, talking with. What does Khan look like?
Oh, he's just a human boy in this
Gotcha.
memory.
Cool. Yeah, so just what appears to be a young Jade talking to a human boy on a windowsill, or next to a windowsill.
Is that a memory?
Yeah, it is.
A good one or a bad one?
A painful one, not a good one.
Who's up next then? To touch a mirror?
Why are we touching the mirrors?
Oh, I thought that's just what we had to do. We can just pass them.
I don't know.
Dorian, as you start to pass this mirror, you think for a split second you see a familiar face there, but when you look at the mirror, it's just the reflection of your own face.
touched it, yeah, Jade?
I did.
I touched the mirror.
Putting your hand to this mirror in a similar way, the reflection starts to warp and swirl around, distorting itself. And let's see. Seems to be underwater. There's like kind of pained sounds almost that you can hear in your mind as you remember this moment of feeling your lungs about to erupt, but keeping the pushing on, swimming through. A boat is starting to kind of come into vision as this, instead of like Jade's where it was this third-person view, for you it is this kind of first-person tour of swimming down deep into these waters, with the boat slowly coming into vision, and then it just stops abruptly and restarts at the beginning of it. Plays through again, stops abruptly, kind of cuts to black, and then restarts again.
Oh, it's definitely showing memories.
Why? How? And why those memories specifically?
This place could be just a weird, fucked up version of reality. Maybe the magic is just warping what we know.
If I look away from the mirror, can I still remember that scene, sort of? Or is it like taken out of my mind?
Do remember it,
Okay.
but feels different. From where this point of view is being shown in this memory, like this third observer, you think back on it, you feel as if that third observer has been there, is only there now because of you seeing it from the mirror. It's hard to place, but this third observer seems to have made its way into your own memory. Or into that specific memory, not into your memory in general. Yeah, I want to phrase that properly.
I don't like this place. I don't like those mirrors.
A dark room with mirrors doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. It was these two top ones that were thinking, but the bottom one's not doing anything now that Jade's moved.
Doesn't seem to be doing anything now.
Do we hear anything? Is there anything sound-wise different? Like anything coming from where we were from at this moment?
No, the chains are still moving. Occasionally you kind of hear the sound of that spectral hand slapping one of the spirits again. Their chains rattling as they're being hit to continue to move in a circle.
Blaze gonna push past everyone and say, "Come on, guys, we don't have time for this." And as he moves past everyone, he trips and grabs onto the mirror.
Nice. Yeah. So, as Blaze touches the mirror, again, it distorts into a memory, and it's pretty simple. Again, it's kind of a third person observer for this one. It's just Blaze sitting in a little clearing in a forest. There seems to be some sort of a gathering of houses off in the distance, but kind of close by. Some smoke rising from probably a campfire in the center. Blaze is playing a violin while some two other elves are kind of dancing around and singing. You're honestly maybe not sure that this was Blaze's memory. It's a little different, but yeah. And Blaze,
Okay,
similar to
everyone's
Jade-
seen this. That's amazing. Can we now leave, please?
And like Jade, Blaze, it feels as if you think on that memory again. That third observer, or I guess fourth observer here, was there, like it feels like there was this presence there, but you didn't notice it until now. But as you get a little bit closer to the end of the hallway, there are another set of wooden double doors. They go up about 6 feet with bricks covering the rest of the 4 feet up to the ceiling, which again is the milky, glassy, cold ceiling.
Oh. After you all, it's another euro. Sorry. Oh.
Oh, yeah, sorry, here,
Yeah,
let me,
accidentally blipped out of it. Dorian's gone.
These doors are slightly ajar, and so you can just kind of push it open. And as you do, it opens up to the same sandstone tiling, except a big chunk of this floor seems to just be missing. You can hear the sound of that wind more clearly now, just blowing through, so your hair kind of being blown in this wind. Some of that shadowy essence is kind of slightly creeping its way up along the edges of the different pieces of sandstone that is left. You can kind of look underneath the sandstone, and it seems to just be floating somewhere, and this blackness is just a void. At the other end, there appears to be a chest in this corner. And there's still the brick walls and stuff around here.
Shall I?
Dorian, you start to run across, and Carver, as you kind of walk past that mirror, like Dorian, you kind of think you see someone's face in the mirror, but when you look at it, it's just this blank, glowy silhouette that your form is currently. And it's kind of odd seeing it for the first time, like, in a reflection. You don't really seem to have much of a face right now. Your hands are kind of just rounded fingers instead of like having different joints. Everything just looks really smooth, and that core that's in the center of you seems to be orbiting in an elliptical pattern kind of around throughout your chest cavity. Kind of odd, little unsettling.
Hey, Blaze. Do you remember the two phrases that the guy that in the temple the other day.
Blaze sure does.
The person that you handed the book to told Carver, cease all weave functions.
And then...
And if I remember correctly, he didn't say anything to snap you out of it.
No, but I remember what was said to snap me, which was resume all weave functions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that.
I'd say to Blaze, so this is the sentence that he said to get me out of that. Could you see what? Maybe we do it on the way out.
Dorian, you're just sliding across these, just running across the wall. It's easy. It's a piece of
I'm skipping.
You have that weird video game physics where when you're on the side of the wall, you jump out horizontally, and then somehow gravity is pulling you back into the wall horizontally. It's weird. Yeah, you're able to make it over to the other side if that's where you're going.
Yes. Unless I just go down and just hope for the best.
Alrighty. Making your way over there. There's a way, there's an open, a closed wooden chest. Whew. Doesn't seem to have a lock on it or anything. It just has one of those, like, little pieces where you can fit your thumb onto it, and then you can swivel it out of, and it's like a little hook in a little hole. Looks pretty basic.
Am I able to open it?
You sure are.
In fact, I'll look at it first, see if it's trapped or not.
Yep. Give me an investigation. Oh yeah. It's a real good roll. This chest is no traps on it. It's just a wooden chest with a simple lock on it.
I step back and use my mage hands to open it.
Alrighty. Opening it with mage hand. You see a handful of items in this chest. I think I click show to players, but I'm not sure if the handout popped up to everybody. But there is a thing called, they all happen to just have handy dandy little tags on them as well to tell you what they do. One of them is a hempen rope that is called Medusa's rope. With a command word, it can be turned into stone, but it cannot be turned back into rope. You have the potion of augury. When you drink the potion, you receive an omen about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. If it's good, you get 12 temporary hit points. If they're bad, you become poisoned for an hour. You get the Scroll of Shut Up, which is an interesting scroll. You get someone to sign their name on it, and if you present the scroll within 30 feet of them, they can't speak while the scroll is open. The effect will last 72 hours after the initial signature is on the scroll. After that, it will fade. And then the Potion of Contagious Confusion. You drink this potion, and you get the the effects of the confusion spell on you, but if you touch another creature on your turn, the effect ends on you and is transferred to that other creature. But the creature may transfer it in the same way, and the effect lasts for a minute.
over to the group, item per item.
Sorry, what did you say?
That I start transferring each item over to the group.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
mage hand.
Very nice. Yeah, your mage hand starts to pick up the items and starts to get it to go across the across the gap, and starts to set it down. Blaze, you see one by one these items starting to stack up.
Well, I would put them in the bag of holding, but it's gone. So.
Yeah.
Oh, also, the command word for the Medusa rope has not been set, so that does need to be set by the party.
Question: could you theoretically cut bits of that rope off and use the command words, and it like little sections of the rope turn to stone, or is it just the whole rope itself?
Roll me an Arcana. Yeah, you 100% can do that.
What? But as soon as you say the command word, the whole rope turns into stone, regardless of how much you've cut. Or just
sorry, the stipulation with it would be, let's say, well, I guess you don't have that here, but if part of it was cut off and put into the bag of holding, it's no longer technically here on the plane anymore.
Okay.
So it would work, but you are kind of right to say that it would turn the whole rope into that is kind of, yeah. So if you can put part of it away and to keep it kind of hidden off of this plane, and then yes, you can do that.
Very cool. Okay. Very cool.
After Dorian is done with mage handing everything over and has come back to our side, Blaze is gonna turn to Carver and say, "Seize all we functions."
Carver, to Dorian and Jade, you see Carver go to a very catatonic state. It locks up in the most stiff of posture you could ever see.
He's fine, guys, he's fine. He's asked me to do this, so he's fine.
Carver...
I didn't kill him or anything.
I don't know if I believe you.
Fair.
When this happens, Carver, your vision kind of goes black, then slowly comes to again. This time, you're in that same room you were in earlier with your creator. But this time, there's two other people with him. And the two people seem to have your creator tied up with, like, handcuffs, and one of them kind of has him by the scruff of his shirt and is kind of shaking him around. The other one just slaps him across the face. The two people, one of them says, "You promised us results, and you've just given us a broken machine that thinks for its own," and slaps him again. "We told you we needed a war machine, not some person with humanity," and then slaps him again. All you can do is sit there and watch it happen. Every part of you is frozen in place. Your creator snaps his head up to you and says, "Resume all weave functions." And as he says that, your body starts to move, a fist already flying at one of the people that that was slapping your creator, and as you're about to make contact with him, your vision fully comes back, and you're in the current place with your party, and your fist is still in motion, and it smashes into the mirror. As you wake up and return to a normal state. The mirror doesn't shatter, though. And instead, it distorts. A memory of you and your creator at a bar. Carver kind of seems to be fighting a couple of people and pulling some people away from his creator, kind of looking intimidating. It seems kind of like the most hectic memory out of anyone. Sorry, I'm just kind of checking to see. It kind of just cuts to black and starts up at a different point in the memory, and you see Carver have a wide grin, or sorry, the creator smiles with a wide grin and puts 100 gold onto the bar as a tip for something, and seems to be apologizing to the shocked bartender, and he just leaves the bar. And then it cuts to black, and it restarts again with kind of fighting. Cuts to black, 100 gold on the bar, cut to black, starts at the beginning. For Jade and Blaze, though, your memories seem to almost be playing out in, like, slow motion. They have yet to fully loop yet.
Are you okay, Carver?
In Zemnian, Carver will actually say to you, "I'm okay."
I don't understand Zemnian.
Sorry. I'm okay, he says in common. Hey Blaze, did anything change when you said those words? Did anything change, like, within this thing that's rotating inside my body right now? Did anything change?
Did anything change?
Yes, that's a really good question. The core in the center that was orbiting completely stops doing its orbit, and then you can see it has kind of its own rotation to it, kind of like a planet spinning around a galaxy kind of a thing. It spins, but it also has its orbit. The orbit of it stops, but the rotation of the orb is still moving.
For some reason in this, wherever we are right now, it seems to be showing a life force of some kind. I mean, it seems that when you say those words, I shut down. And this could be... So, what do we do? Does the light shine off all of these mirrors the same way? The light that's inside me, that's shining out, does it bounce off the mirrors?
Sorry, that's just a really good question. Let me think about that really quick. The light coming off of your body seems to be kind of reflecting, but the core itself, in the reflection of the mirror, it still seems like it's bright, but there isn't any reflection of a super bright orb bouncing around in the room. So no, it doesn't seem to be reflecting the light from the orb.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Is there anything different with the rest of you when you look in the mirror to what you actually have?
For Blaze and Jade, as they're in front of mirrors right now, just appears to be their normal reflection.
I think Jade is sort of looking at this memory of his playing out in this emotion, and he's looking at all that is happening and stuff, and he just, you can see that he squeezes his necklace that he always has around, and he says, I don't know about you guys, but whatever those mirrors are doing, they try to, whoever controls them, they try to claw themselves inside of our minds, and I'm not going to have them there. And he tightens his fist and he will just try to smash the mirror and hit it.
Give me an attack roll.
Okay.
An unarmed attack, yeah. Perfect.
Oof.
Sends a crack through the mirror, but it doesn't shatter it. From the crack that forms, a little bit of light starts to almost shoot out of the mirror, kind of about like 2 inches or so. It almost seems like it's a 2D slice of light coming out. You feel heat kind of starting to radiate from the mirror. But it's still intact and the memory is still being played.
Getting a bit angrier, I just hit again.
Give me one more unarmed strike. Hitting that same spot causes the crack to spider out. More of this almost cross-section of light starts to shoot out of these cracks. This time, it starts to get closer to like a 4 foot long streak of light coming out of it. Heat starts to just fill this area. Everyone starts to sweat. The mirror starts to vibrate violently. But the memory is still there, and it's still somewhat intact.
Come on, you piece of shit! Another punch.
With this one, you feel Avandra's help kind of behind your fist with this, and you punch the glass, all of it shatters and drops down to the ground. I need, Dorian and Jade to make dexterity saving throws. Hey, pretty good.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say Blaze or Jade?
Jade.
Sorry.
You and Blaze and Carver are just out of range for this. Like, Carver, you see shards of glass land right at your feet. But Dorian and Jade, you take 5 points of piercing damage as this glass almost embeds shards into your being. The shards of glass seem to almost start to sink into you, Jade. Like there's one big chunk that's kind of sticking out of your one of your forearms, and it starts to just slide down. It's not cutting, it's not hurting, but it just seems like it's going inside of you.
Can I sort of quickly try to grab it and pull it out?
Oh yeah, give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Nope.
Righty. The glass makes its way into you, and you're trying to grab it, but it's slippery and hot. Each time you grab it, your hand instinctually kind of goes away from it as it burns it. You try to grab it again and try to pull it up, but your fingers just slide through it, and the glass makes its way into you. You hear a voice in your mind, Jade. It says, "No one's ever been so zealous as to try to break one of these before. I'm impressed. Impressed. Well,
Okay. Get out of my mind, demon. I won't have your games today.
very well, if that's what you wish." He stops talking.
We need to get out of here, guys.
Actually, sorry. He says one more thing when you say you don't want to play his games. He says, "Fine. Come and find me then." And you feel a slight pull to go back into the main, or not to go back, but you feel like something behind the other door is really pulling your interest.
He's directing me somewhere. Yeah. The demon, the one from the statue. The other door, the other door, the one that we didn't check out. He's pulling my attention that way.
Should we head back that way then? Are you okay?
No, I'm not. But he said to find him. Might be a trap.
I'm here for you, whatever you need us to do.
I just want to get out of here.
He didn't seem to like his mirrors being broken. Should we...
I'm sorry for acting rash there.
Yeah.
Since I hurt you a bit, Dory, I'm sorry. I will give you back 5 hit points with lay of hands. No, please. Sorry, I put you guys in danger. I was reckless. My bad. I'm sorry. I will still do lay on hands.
I should have cottoned on that. I should have moved away when the big, strong, angry green man started punching the mirror.
I'm not usually that angry. It's just... It was a bit of a sensitive memory. I didn't like that demon being in it.
I will say that as that mirror is broken, the feeling of another entity being in that memory starts to fade away. Goes back to being, yes, feeling less of an unsoiled memory now. You.
Oh, So, how do we feel about these mirrors? How do we feel about going back to the hall?
Well, I'll be honest, I can't break a mirror like you guys can. So I guess we should just go back.
How big are these mirrors?
They are pretty massive. About 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall. Or just 9 feet wide, make them a little rectangular.
Just for the hell of it. 9 feet wide? 9 feet wide. Well, that's pretty big. I was going to see if I could pick one up and do something, but
they're pretty big. But what's your strength?
My strength's pretty big. 21.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could pick these up. It's a little just awkward to handle. But you can get it around. They seem to be they're kind of just laid up against the wall. Nothing's really keeping them here.
I'll pick my I don't know. I'll pick mine up and I'll chuck it down the hole. And so get rid of it.
Yeah, just because it's a little unwieldy, it takes like about a minute or so to kind of grab it and drag it, occasionally picking it up, but it's just so big and awkward to grab onto, you kind of just have to drag it. But you get it and you toss it down into the hole. You watch it fall for about 20 feet. And then it doesn't look like it's falling anymore. It looks like it's just stationary. A couple of seconds goes by, and it looks almost like it's fading away a little bit. A couple more seconds go by, it continues to fade a little bit more, till eventually it fades into just empty darkness. The memory you had of this carver, thinking back on it while the mirror had the memory showing, you just kind of felt like a disassociation with that memory, as if that wasn't you really doing that. But when you put the mirror down the hole, the feeling of you being the one in control during that memory kind of slowly starts to come back, and it becomes your memory again.
I'll let everyone know that I just feel like I got a bit of myself back by doing that.
Me too. Yeah, he's no longer in this memory, this being.
Yeah, but I'm not strong enough to drag that thing.
Do you need some Do you need some help?
We can destroy the other two mirrors if you guys want to.
I'm gonna try casting Eldritch Blast on mine first.
Step back. We're just all
area. So as long as you're 15 feet away from it.
it's like, get out of here.
Nope. Let's draw that back.
Or I would offer to Dorian that I could stand in front of him.
No, it's okay. I've got the shield spell.
Okay.
Alrighty. Alright, so yeah, give me your Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. Oof.
But yeah, both those smack into it.
damage as well?
No, I think I'm okay with just having them hit. With both of these Eldritch Blasts and them being force damage, it does seem to shatter it just a little bit easier than a fist. But a very similar thing happens where this energy goes chaotic and shoots out shards of glass in a 15-foot area. Dorian, make a dexterity saving throw with advantage, as you are prepared for this to happen. Okay.
Wow.
Take another
Not
5 points
sure
of
what we're
damage.
doing and why we're doing it.
The glass, you try to dodge most of it, but there's just a few that make their way on and into you. And similar to Jade, there's one bigger piece that starts to kind of slide its way into your body. Make a sleight of hand if you'd like to try to pull it out. Alright. Yeah, that's good enough to... You get a good grasp on it, but like with Jade, it's excruciatingly hot. You grab it, pull it, throw it on the ground, releasing your hand. Your hand kind of burns a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad of a burn. That mirror is destroyed.
Looks like you can just shoot yours then, Blaze.
Yeah, I'd rather not have to pull shards out of myself, so if Carver would be so kind as to just, you know, throw it, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
About another minute or so needed to grab it and get it pulled, but you're able to get it over here and dump it into the darkness. And like with Carver's, it falls to about 20 feet, stops, and slowly fades to nothingness. And again, Blaze, you feel this onlooker in your memory kind of fade away. And for you, Dorian, like Carver, it feels like this memory isn't so much a dissociation, but your memory.
So,
Mirrors are cleared up now. What do you do?
Do we want to go where he has directed us to go, or do we wanna sort of ignore him?
I think we should go.
Something tells me that we have to defeat the big bad to get out of here.
I would suggest.
That would be my guess as well.
I would suggest we go back where we went and try to sneak around this corner without getting spotted. I'm interested about that urn at the end of the hallway a little bit. I mean, if these mirrors are holding memories, what could things like an urn hold in a building like this? These
Nothing good.
creatures keep turning in circles without actually turning anything. They seem to be just a block to stop someone from getting in or something from getting out, I guess.
Yeah, so you all make your way back through this hallway and start to make your way around the corner again. Let's go ahead and do stealth checks again, if you're being stealthy about it.
Pass without a trace lasts 10 minutes, so...
Yeah, we'll say it's up still.
Okay, cool.
18.
Very nice. Everyone's stealthing really good, especially with that pass without a trace on. It's very quiet as you step on the sandstone tiles moving through here. And walking past these creatures, they don't seem to notice you. They're just doing their thing of walking in circles and occasionally getting slapped by a necrotic hand.
How do you do that calculation thing you guys are doing?
The moving.
Yeah.
You hold your token and then left click. Like you move your token to where you want to go and then left click. And then it should.
Ah. Yeah.
Oh, that's nifty.
But I am left. Hold your token, then left click.
When you're holding your token and then left click, there should be like a yellow arrow. I'm sorry, my left and right are bad. Right click.
Okay, so you hold it.
With the left thing, and then you use your right clicker. I'm terrible. I need tattoos of left and right on my hands, man.
Ah, danke. Vielen Dank für die Blumen.
Wonderful.
Sorry. So, you learn something new
Yes.
every day. All right. Well, has anything changed in this room since we've been gone? No.
The biggest thing would be that the bodies that were in here, or I guess the cloaks that were in here, are no longer here. And the bodies of the shadow creatures with tongues that were nasty, are completely gone as well.
Okay. Dorian, do you want to walk on the roof again? Check this out? Or do we just go in?
I could quickly pop in if you want. Just have a look, see.
Let's try it again. Out to this side and up on the roof.
Alrighty, opening the door and going onto the roof, you find yourself into another hallway that starts to split off. Or doesn't split off, turns back on itself, and kind of hard to tell from where you're at to see any more than that, but appears that this is a hallway. Jade, you feel whatever was kind of compelling you to come this way is very much stronger down this hallway.
Okay.
Stronger. The pool or whatever.
Alright.
We're getting close.
Make sure that we're going relatively stealthily again and just peering around the corner.
Alrighty. Peering around that corner and looking through. Hold on real quick. Got a lot to kind of reveal real quick. Alrighty. So, coming into this pretty massive room, at the far end of this room is a throne, sitting the hooded figure with half of a skeleton face and half of a greenish skin face. Behind him is this massive tapestry with this really ugly looking face on it. Let me explain it a little bit more. There is a hanging, or depicted in this tapestry is a woman who has gnarled purple skin with stringy black hair, yellow eyes, and red ram's horns that curl back from her forehead. People can give me a history check to find out more about that.
Just an ugly person.
Yep, just an ugly person. I don't even know why Carver rolls for history. He doesn't even know anything about history.
Well, hey, these rolls are really playing into that really well. And do you want to roll history as well, Jade?
I'm making commitment. I have -1 now. There's no way.
Okay. Doesn't really ring any bells for anyone with those rolls. But yeah, ugly looking person for sure. Sitting in that chair is that person. Next to him are these two swirling vortexes of a shadow essence that looks very similar to what is above you on the roof, and what was shown in the broken room with the chest. It looks, kind of looking at the ground, there's little pieces of dust that seem to be pulled inwards towards these vortexes of shadow. Standing guard next to a door here, here, is two demon-looking people with really nice golden plated armor. Let's see, do they have... Oh. I can't get a bigger picture of them, but they look cool. They have like scimitar-esque weapons, or short sword, kind of drawn, as well as these crossbows that are down on their hips. There's 3 more of those indentured servants you saw, or spirits that you saw earlier, except for these ones seem more frail and a little bit weaker than the ones that you fought previously. Coming into this room, the person at the throne lets out a chuckle, his voice kind of slightly booming in this room, and echoing through it. He says, I made it quite easy to find me, did I not?
It makes one wonder why would you make it so easy.
Oh, well, you see, it's no fun if I get to sit here all on my own. It's fun to have others to talk with, others to quarrel with, if you will.
So what's your game? Why us?
Well, I've already kind of told you a little bit. I needed you. Let's just say, if you kill a hag, her sisters are gonna put a bounty on your head. I'm here to claim it.
Excuse me?
Oh yes, you kind of got caught in the crossfire there. You're less important, but it did call for 4 people. 3 out of the 4 ain't bad, with an extra one who seems to have made some deals of his own.
My mother called me special, so...
How about this? Let's make it interesting. You may ask me 2 questions. I'll answer them to the best of my ability in the most honest way that I can. In return, I get to ask 1 question targeted at you all. And you have to answer with honesty. Is that fair?
Was that the question?
Quick-witted, I see, but sadly not, as we have yet to agree upon the terms, so no, it is not the question. And neither that question one of your questions.
I mean, guys, we're gonna huddle. We're gonna huddle.
Okay.
No eavesdropping.
Yeah, he seems to just kind of like shoo you off with his hand and just kind of looks away for a bit.
We could ask him how to get out of it.
That's smart, yeah.
He could ask us any number of questions that could keep us in here, I'm guessing. Is it wise to do such a deal? We had that guy at the farmstead that had made the lady had made a promise, and this... I will go with whatever you guys decide. You all decide. €3.
I try not to make a habit of negotiating with fiends and demons, but those are just questions. Like, worst comes to worst, we take out our, or push comes to shove. I don't know what's the idiom. Push comes to shove, we take our weapons out and start fighting them. Those questions might prove useful.
We could actually use one of our questions to ask if his question is gonna trap us here.
I will cede to what you feel. I'm a bit out of my depth when it comes to these sorts of trust exercises.
Wanna take the lead, Dorian?
Yeah, I can try. Ahem.
Yes, you all are ready, I presume.
Yes.
Alrighty, well, it'd only be fair for you two to get, or for your group to get the questions first, so ask away.
I look at everyone with a thumbs up like, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The question that you're going to ask, will it trap us here?
Oh, heavens no. If I wanted to trap you here, if I was to trap you here, I would never really be able to get you turned into the hag now, would I? Second question. Use it wisely.
I'm trying to word it in my head without fucking myself over. Okay. How do we get out of here without your help?
He thinks for a little bit. Really ponders. Kind of lets out a sigh and says, if you really want to, take the urn from the other room, free whatever now I have to answer honestly, free the Alep that I have locked away, and it could help you get out of here by going through this door. And he points to the door that the two things are guarding. Anyone who wants to can roll a religion or just straight intelligence check to if they know what an Alep is. Dorian, you are aware that an Alep is a pretty sketchy thing. Usually an Alep is formed by someone finding a secret that they weren't supposed to uncover, and such as like a demon lord's true name or something of that type. And as punishment, they are cursed to become essentially a form of poltergeist, but when they possess people and haunt them, they cause that person to go insane and to write just crazy nonsense. Most cases of artificers, wizards, and warlocks going insane, most of the time that's due to an alep.
Let everyone know the good news.
Ah, I see, you're quite ranged in the demonic forces. Impressive. Most wouldn't know what an alep is if it slapped him across the face. But now, that was your 2 questions. Now I get mine. Kinda looks at each of you. Eventually falls his eyes onto Jade. Says, a person whom you care most about. Where do they live?
Is he asking everyone or just?
It's he's asking it to Jade.
Jade chuckles. I don't know. And that's the truth. And it is!
It is! It is the truth! Oh, I love it! I was, oh man, that's a great response. This person kind of smashes his fist onto his throne, and says, there's no truth in that. You're lying to me. I asked you the question, please. Don't think you can outsmart me. You can see there's like a hint of worry in his eyes that you are being honest.
You've seen the memory. You know who I care most about, and I have no idea where he is right now. It's the truth.
You tricked me. Good. I guess I tricked myself by asking you that, I guess, but... well... his only brow on his left side kind of furrows, and he starts to kind of like grind his fingers in a ball of a fist, and... well... we're relatively close to the Hag's Coven. How about you all explore for a bit? Leave me to my anger now.
If we go up to that door and have the key out of it, are you gonna stop us, or?
If you bring the alep, I think that's pretty much as good punishment as any. You won't make it long if you escape with an alep on your back.
Dorian does that thing where he's like weighing up 2 options, like physically in front of him, like one of us going mad, all of us dying to hags, or choices.
Carver's standing there just looking the most confused he's probably ever looked.
Oh, sorry. One thing he didn't actually state very clearly, retconning his answer about the alep and going through. You would go through that door, and there's a portal there that is unstable. The alep can make it stable. I'm trying to think with the way the question is worded. Out his help. I think he would also say he has the main key. Yeah. So he has the main key. Alep can help be another key to get the portal open.
I start casting message on everyone, like, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna take the alep, or we're gonna kill him? Or both.
Do we need to do both or not?
You know what I mean?
I
just
mean, we
want to give you
could.
options.
I mean, you all have the capability of getting to him from here. He already looked a bit damaged yesterday. I'm not sure whether or earlier before we got here. Do we charge him and...
That's actually a really good point. Carver, looking at him a little bit closer, his form seems to be a little bit more ethereal. He looks like he's still here and like he's making contact with the throne, but almost in a way kind of like Dorian, there seems to be a slight flicker to it. And he also seems a little bit healthier than he was in your previous fight.
Could I make a suggestion to you all? That we probably are helping him to escape here completely with his... Would that make sense? That the thing in the urn is actually part of him? Or it...
Makes sense.
Maybe the whole point was to get us here because we managed to kill a demon and he thinks we're a way to support and help him.
Quite frankly, I just want to kill him at the moment. Like,
Me too.
Yeah, he annoyed me a lot.
okay, then do this then.
I vote that we do.
As we are going to get into a combat, then it sounds like we are kind of getting to 2 o'clock. This fight may go on for a bit. Would we rather call it here right before we get into the fight, or do we want to play out the fight a little bit to about 2:20 or for about another 30 minutes or so, and then if it's not finished, just come back and finish it out?
Personally, I'd rather do the fight in one bit.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a chance we can't do it all today, then I'd rather just call it here and do it next week.
Okay. So with that then, the mean guy, he just kind of looks back at you all and says, I can feel that anger, Jade. Feel it. Come on. Attack me. Do it. And as everyone gets ready to go into a combat, we'll end our session there.
Sounds good.
Yay.
I mean, unless of course everyone else wants to start.
Yeah.
Nah,
But if it's
nah.
anything-
Yeah,
I
that's
think
fair.
I think I'm with you, James. It's easier to remember what spells has been cast and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
For sure.
Busting had to rush.
I will wait just a little bit real quick for... Okay. Hey, Forsyth. So, we're
I'm
gonna
back.
get into combat. And...
Okay! I'm
Since we're getting into combat, and it is kind of close to 2:30-ish, or, well, 2:30 for me, we're gonna go ahead and call it here before we get into the fight, so that way we don't have to split this fight into 2 sessions. So as you are about to get into the fight, we will end for today. But we'll pick up here next week, ready to get into a big boss fight.
Also, there's new Trinestone emotes.
Oh,
It is?
very cool.
Yep, during
So, really cool session. Just sort of said the goodbyes at the end there. Yeah. These battles, the sort of thinking and what to do and whether or not that... I love that part of this game. It's interesting. There's part of me that likes the battle part. That, like, when I play Battle Royale, it's like I like the battle part and I like the challenge and this sort of battle element. I really like RPing. I really like the RP element. And then doing something your character would want to do and then trying to realize whether or not that's the thing that you're doing because it's you, thinking, well, I want to do this, or would my character want to do that at that point in time? And seeing Jade break the mirror, then Carver's like, yeah, like I feel like this is also, that wasn't the way the memory was. That's not the way it's meant to be. So Carver would want to like follow in suit. So there is that element, and seeing obviously the damage and shards and him deciding not to do it that way. But then on the other hand, it's like, was there more to it? And I like that feeling of the character going, I don't like being here. I don't like doing this. What we're not doing is sort of just walking in a room and going, no, kill. So yeah, we'll see you next week. Obviously jumping into a battle. Let's see how that looks. So that is the welcome to Wildemount. A lot of fun and yeah, really enjoying it. Looking forward to next week. Cheers. Bye.